Just like diamonds, some of the best movies can come out of extreme pressure. Hey guys, it's Phoebe with WatchMojo. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 insane ways movies tried to save money.
The Americans are fools. I offered my services, they refused. So did the East. Now they can both pay for their mistake.
We're taking a look at movies where directors were forced to deal with low budgets and reduced costs. Let's get to it.
We are free and clear to navigate.
Course heading, Captain?
Captain's discretion.
If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below. Number 10. Taking from an existing TV show, Psycho.
Well, a boy's best friend is his mother.
A trip to the Bates Motel saw visitors disappear left and right in the Alfred Hitchcock classic Psycho. Hitchcock was left to finance the film himself and shoot back at Universal, where he also made Alfred Hitchcock Presents for TV. In an effort to keep costs low, he recycled much of that show's production crew and reportedly approached the movie like an episode.
I was just a plain, simple babysitter. But look at me now.
Hitchcock additionally took an upfront cut on pay to get Paramount to distribute the film, and instead opted for a larger part of the back-end profits. Even the choice to film in black and white was itself done in part to trim expenses. But given the millions that Psycho earned at the box office, Hitchcock made all the right moves.
I hope they are watching. They'll see. They'll see and they'll know and they'll say, why, she wouldn't even harm a fly.
Number 9. Cheap Sets, Dr. No.
Come and look.
James Bond's first official film outing took him into the surprisingly charming lair of the evil Dr. No. But as the Bond franchise was still new, only 1% of its already meager $1 million budget was allocated to sets. No's room still appeared stylish due to production designer Ken Adam, who mixed in cheap vintage pieces to create an eclectic aesthetic. Adam was also tasked with copying a stolen Goya painting for No to possess, just to enhance the villain's aura of power. Stock footage of tiny fish was magnified to save money, which was itself written in as a display of No's unusual persona.
You were wondering what it cost.
As a matter of fact, I was.
So given that later Bond films received huge budgets for set pieces alone, Dr. No's smooth look was an impressive achievement.
So that's how you financed this operation.
Number 8. Improvised Makeup, Dallas Buyers Club. This movie's funding was slashed right before filming started, leaving just a few $100 or so to transform Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto into ill patients.
You've tested positive for HIV, which is the virus that causes AIDS.
Makeup head Robin Matthews claimed bones and veins had to be highlighted repeatedly in place of prosthetics. Rashes were created with grits and other foods to drive costs down more, and those were reportedly donated by Matthews' mother.
I'm Rayo.
Congratulations.
The situation was dire enough that a producer reportedly pitched in their own money to feed crew members. Matthews' hard work paid off, however, as Dallas Buyers Club won the makeup Oscar that same year.
I mean, goddamn, people are dying. And y'all are all up there afraid that we're gonna find an alternative without you.
Number 7. No Extras, Rocky. In the midst of Rocky Balboa's journey to become a famous boxer, he asked Adrian out on a date.
Yo, it looks kind of quiet, you know?
I think it's closed.
No, I think maybe we're just early or something like that.
Initially, this scene was set to occur in either a restaurant or an ice rink packed with skaters. But as the large amount of extras proved to be an expensive choice, it was suggested to set the moment after hours. With Rocky and Adrian alone, the camera focused on them for an intimate conversation.
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Why do you want to fight?
Because I can't sing or dance. Hey, yo.
Rocky's access to the closed rink also helped him appear more dedicated to impressing Adrian. The decision solidified their relationship so that it was all the more emotional as Rocky called her in for the finale.
Adrian!
Rocky!
Hey, where's your hat?
I love you!
Number 6. Crashing on the producer's couch, The Purge.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government.
The home invasion terror of The Purge was touch and go in the financing department, but producer Jason Blum secured interest in a low-budget approach to the story and filmed it in a house rather than the streets. Ethan Hawke and crew members were asked to waive larger paychecks and instead opt for part of the profits.
Because it works. You don't remember how bad it was, Charlie. The poverty, all the crime. This night saved our country.
Hawke also skipped on accommodations and slept on his friend Blum's sofa to reduce the costs of production. The home setting put the danger in a place that viewers understood and grounded a high-concept plot. 5 films and a TV show later, Blum's early penny pinching has allowed The Purge to get more ambitious. Number 5. The entire production, Monsters. Gareth Edwards' Monsters took viewers down a desolate Mexico filled with infectious aliens, but less than $500,000 was allocated to achieve this futuristic vision. This forced director Gareth Edwards to use mostly consumer-level equipment and editing software, which reportedly cost only about $15,000.
What happened here?
I don't know. If you ask me, this looks like an airstrike.
Random locals were recruited as extras, while the crew was just 4 people. Edwards even ended up serving as the cinematographer and production designer, while he added all the visual effects himself on a laptop.
What is this?
Despite the meager resources, Monsters still looked way better than movies with 10 times the budget. Number 4. Changing up the chase, Jurassic Park.
It's a dinosaur.
A T-Rex chases down a car of patrons after a dinosaur theme park has its beast set loose. The moment wasn't originally in Jurassic Park, as the book actually saw the protagonist fleeing the Rex in a raft. Though the scene was storyboarded and reportedly partially filmed, it was cut due to the very large costs it would have incurred.
Come on, we gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here. Now, right now. Go, let's go. Hey. Start the engine.
And even money aside, it was also unclear how a rafting chase with a massive dinosaur would have looked with their special effects. This led to adapting the scene with a Jeep, which has helped Jurassic Park hold up visually throughout the years. Number 3. Recycling footage, Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. 3 years on from their first film outing, the crew of the USS Enterprise were pitted against an intergalactic villain.
From hell's heart, I stab at thee.
But The Wrath of Khan was a sequel with a reduced budget, so the crew, the film crew that is, was forced to cut corners wherever they could. The set of Khan's USS Reliant was recycled from the Enterprise, much like several space stations and miniatures were reused from Star Trek the Motion Picture. Costumes were too costly to throw out, so many were either dyed or trimmed to look new. Worst of all was the docking sequence, which essentially just re-edited shots directly from the first film. Though Wrath of Khan was celebrated, it was a testament to the strong designs of the original movie.
Live long and prosper.
Number 2. Replacing characters before filming, Deadpool. Wade Wilson was dying from cancer when an experiment turned him into an invincible but unhinged mutant.
Okay, let's pro-con this superhero thing.
This X-Men spin-off was already facing minimal financing, but it faced additional $1 million cuts right before it was greenlit.
Leave a message and have a happy day.
God damn it! I'm gonna do this the old-fashioned way, with 2 swords and maximum effort.
The reduced cash meant that preferred characters like Garrison Kane and Wire were unable to be featured. Defeated by the budget, an otherwise strange cast of characters did allow for plenty of meta jokes, which was classic Deadpool humor.
And you are?
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Negasonic Teenage... What the shit? That's the coolest name ever!
And the lack of funds for a massive gunfight finale was salvaged by making fun of Wade's own stupidity. So by playing the self-aware voice of their own source material, Deadpool turned major setbacks into opportunities.
I'm gonna wait out here, okay? It's a big house. It's funny that I only ever see two of you. It's almost like the studio couldn't afford another X-Man.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Shooting without permission. The Terminator. A time-traveling robot assassin sounded like a low-budget movie plot, so director James Cameron was given the funds to match for the Terminator. Luckily, Cameron had learned tricks from his previous cheap films, so he decided to avoid paying for film permits. This prompted a lot of nighttime filming to avoid detection. Mercury vapor streetlights were sought out by the crew to reduce electrical costs for the moonlight shoots. Cameron actually had to lie about studying at UCLA when a cop busted him. And another scene had Arnold Schwarzenegger punch in a real car window just to get a shot. All the workarounds gave the Terminator a dark and gritty look, which stays terrifying all these years later.
What did he just say?
He said there's a storm coming in.
I know.
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.